Hey, it's Kim Commando today, your daily podcast to keep you up to date with all things digital and beyond. And I'd love to have you be a part of our podcast. You can make an appointment to speak with me. Just head over to commando.com, and on the top right, there's a button that says Email Kim. Fill that out, and that's it. I like to start each hour with just a little fun fact, and it's a website that you probably use at least once a day, maybe more if you use Google Docs, Sheets, Photos, Calendar, Search. But did you ever think about how did they come up with the name Google anyway back in 1995? Okay, first of all, let's go back in history. Stanford grad students Larry Page and Sergey Brin, they wanted to call their search site initially Backrub. Not really sure where that came from, but it didn't take off, so Google it was. And they say it's a play on a mathematical expression, Google, which is Googol, for the number one followed by 100 zeros. Now, don't you feel smart? You're going to use that the next time you play Jeopardy. And I saw a picture of Larry Page driving his new supercar the other day. Wow, it was beautiful. It was gray with pinstripes, and the rims were totally chromed out. Ha ha, yeah. And you see, ladies and gentlemen and boys and girls of all ages, that's an example of all the fun that we have here week after week as we talk about living the best digital life ever. It's America's largest show about all things digital, the most trusted source, of course. And it's called The Kim Commando Show because I just happen to be America's digital pro. Kim Commando here with you once again, and you can catch our weekend show on over 425 stations, and we're streaming in your favorite radio app. And of course, you can find us as a podcast, a webcast, and you can watch the show, you can get the archives and commercial free, all that good stuff. 3 months of archives over at getkim.com. You get a 30-day free trial. After that, it's just a few bucks a month. Heck, we're worth it. Getkim.com. And I'd like to say thank you to all of our listeners on the American Forces Network Radio, serving more than 375,000 American servicemen and women in 175 countries. Love this. 200 ships at sea. Get the Kim Commando Show. And I'm sure you have at least a few questions about something digital I can lend a hand to. And our T-Mobile Unlimited listener line is now open at 1-888-825-5254 is the way to join us. And just a quick reminder, if you're just too shy to call me, you can always just drop me your question on our website. That's commando.com. And in the upper right-hand corner, there's a link that says Email Kim. And I'd like to thank Simply Safe for helping to make this show possible. And I believe that home should be the safest place on earth for every family. That's why I use and I recommend Simply Safe. Simply Safe is advanced whole home security, and it truly does. It puts you, your home, and your family's safety first. They offer comprehensive protection not only against intruders and burglary, but against those expensive home hazards from flooding to fires. With 24/7 professional monitoring, Simply Safe's agents take action the moment a threat is detected, dispatching police or first responders in an emergency. Now, Simply Safe uses proprietary video verification technology. It's really amazing, so that this way monitoring agents can visually confirm the threat in order to get higher priority in 911 dispatch. And those cameras, by the way, on Simply Safe, they have a little shutter. So if you want to turn them off, you don't have to unplug them or do anything like that. If you want to have private time, you just go ahead and close the shutter. Really smart. Monitoring plans are affordably priced at $1 a day with no long-term contracts, no hidden fees. You can customize the perfect system for your home in just a few minutes by going to this address, simplysafekim.com. Once again, that's simplysafekim.com. Now, if you go today, you can claim a free indoor security camera plus 20% off with interactive monitoring, once again, at simplysafekim.com. All right, let's start with 5 things you need to know about tech that's happening right now. And we're going to start with TikTok. That's right. If TikTok is on your smartphone, maybe you should think about removing it immediately. But first, how about some fun facts about TikTok that you probably don't know? 18% of all internet users use TikTok. Think about that. Almost 20% of everybody around the world is using TikTok. It has the highest social media engagement rate per person. It is the most popular app, the number one app among U.S. teens and young adults. Oh my gosh, imagine this. Imagine if you had this app. It's been downloaded more than 3 billion times, and it has over 1 billion active users. Talk about a success. Now, the reason why it should be off your phone is, listen to this. FCC Commissioner Brendan Carr has asked the CEOs of both Google and Apple to remove TikTok from their app stores. I don't think it's going to happen. He says, at its core, TikTok is a sophisticated surveillance tool harvesting all your personal data. You know, it is. It's owned by a Beijing company, ByteDance, which is required by Chinese law to comply with Communist China's surveillance demands, including, you have TikTok, your entire search and browsing history. Okay, you might say, that's not too bad. Your facial ID, yeah, that's going to. Your voice prints, your text messages, your locations, your photos, your video, the whole enchilada going right to China. And the software has circumvented all attempts to block the collection methods. No other popular software is spying to this extent. Think about that the next time you fire up TikTok. Number 2 on our list of 5 things that you need to know about tech is I want you to remember the first 3 letters in crypto spells what? Cry. That's right. Whether you're invested or just watching from the sidelines, brace yourself. The crypto meltdown is nowhere near the bottom. This past week, there was a really big crypto hedge fund called 3 Hours Capital, and it defaulted on a $670 million loan, defaulted on it. The company's owner predicted that today's Bitcoin last year, he said, today would be worth $2.5 million per coin. He's just a little off. It's about 20,000 and falling. And then there was this crypto brokerage house, Voyager Digital, says that it can't repay its $350 million loan to stablecoin. That was the one that was tied to the US dollar. And as I mentioned before, stablecoin is the only thing propping up this entire crypto house of cards. Because if it's not truly stable, then this $2 trillion crash is truly just the beginning. And now remember all these celebrities that were pitching cryptocurrency, buy this, buy that. I'm talking about anyone from Kim Kardashian to Matt Damon, Tom Brady. They're all silent right now. And meanwhile, in NFT land, as the crypto winter, they're calling it, descends upon the world, celebrities are now deleting their NFT, their profile pictures. Anyone from Jimmy Fallon to Shonda Rhimes, Travis Baker, and where they are abandoning their NFT avatars. What's up with that? Celebrities who have gone silent speak tons. Number 3 on our list of 5, more data than you can imagine. You see, everybody's smartphone has this unique ID number. And it's so that advertisers can track you and hit you up with more personalized ads like where you go, what you buy, the things that you do, the apps that you use. It's creepy. But these unique IDs are supposedly to keep your actual identity anonymous to advertisers. So by using just this random ID, they may not know exactly who you are. But according to a Motherboard report, not so much. There are certain data brokers who unmask users through a loophole, and then they sell that data to advertisers. Now, Motherboard reporters went undercover to see what data they could potentially get. And one data broker told them, we have the biggest, the largest bank of current mobile advertising IDs, full names, physical addresses, phone numbers, email addresses, IP addresses. Wow, isn't really something. Over at Commando.com, we have the step-by-step instructions to opt out or to reset your mobile ID. Just remember, anytime you see ads for that ukulele you've always wanted, there's going to be some strings attached. Number 4 on our list is Google finally admits it's wrong. What is that about? Google search, they say they're going to start telling you if it's bad at its job. Well, not so much. I'm talking about breaking news, and Google news is also going through this whole redevelopment. But the developing stories where updated info continues to be flowing in and changing. Now, Google says it has trained all of its AI system to detect whether a topic is rapidly evolving, and not a lot of sources have posted about it yet. And might see a message that says, if this is new, we're going to try to find some reliable sources. But what constitutes a reliable source is totally up to them, right? It may not necessarily be accurate. So bottom line here is that if it's breaking news and you're trying to see what's going on, if you go to Google and you start seeing all these crazy stories, just know that you might see some warnings along the side, or just wait until things calm down. I actually got this message from a listener, and it went something like this. He was using Google search. I thought this was so funny. I just had to tell you guys and gals about it. I was planning Dear Kim, I was planning to repaint the shed, and I wanted to know if latex paint would stick to stucco. Okay. Didn't know that. Doing a little handyman DIY job. So he said, I did a Google search for latex bondage. Okay. He said, I'll never make that mistake again. Couldn't you just imagine? Wow. And finally, the last thing I want to pass along at number 5. How much does it cost to take a ride on Jeff Bezos' Blue Origin rocket? The answer is, well, it depends. And I'll explain just a second. Blue Origin, they have the New Shepard rocket. It's been busy. It's gone on 5 missions. And as far as the total number of people that have gone up to the Outer Banks of space, about 25 folks. When I say the Outer Banks, I really mean the lower edge of space, about 100 kilometers. Or if you do the math, because here in the United States, we don't know anything about the metric system, it's a little over 62 miles. Now, if you go over to the Blue Origin website, they don't advertise the prices. They don't. But if you think that you got a bum rap on the last airline ticket that you purchased, because you know you probably could have gotten it lower, get a load of this. Passengers on Origin's New Shepard rocket, they have paid anything from $0 to $28 million. Wow. Talk about a spread. Let's talk about free. If you have a name, you can get them some publicity. William Shatner, Wally Funk, they went for free. But you have to remember, Blue Origin's Jeff Bezos coming. It's not the only game in space. I mean, Virgin Galactic sells a 90-minute ride to suborbital space for $450,000 per seat. Space Perspective charges $125,000 per person. Now, there's always that thought, like, do I go with the lowest thing? Whatever you're looking at, whether it's a car, a trip, or whatever. This is $125,000 per person. It's a 6-hour journey to the stratosphere, but I'm not feeling this for me, but maybe you might want to do it. It's a balloon pressurized capsule. So it's a balloon you're going to the edge of space in. No thanks. Axiom Space is a Texas startup. They're marketing a 10-day trip to the International Space Station. Are you ready? $55 million. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I don't know. At that price, I don't think it's going to take off. All right, I'd like to thank GoodRx for helping to make the show possible, too. And summer's starting and prices are rising on just about everything. But when it comes to the cost of your prescriptions, checking GoodRx can help. And if you want to support us here at the show, I want you to check out our advertisers because GoodRx is amazing. It can save you a few bucks, and maybe you can put that money toward a road trip or maybe a staycation, something fun to celebrate the summer season. Now, GoodRx helps you compare prescription prices at local pharmacies and can save you up to 80%. Now, comparing prices is super important because what a lot of folks don't realize is that prescription prices can vary from one pharmacy to the next, sometimes as much as $100. But with GoodRx, you'll have the information you need to help you find the lowest price. GoodRx has saved consumers $40 billion to date, and they can help save you money too. So for simple, smart savings in your prescriptions, check GoodRx. Just go to goodrx.com/Kim. That's goodrx.com/Kim.
GoodRx is not insurance, but can be used instead of insurance, Medicare and Medicaid. In 2021, GoodRx users saved 81% on retail prescription prices.
All right, coming up in this jam-packed hour, I've got a great Google Maps trick that you're going to love. We're going to talk about how you can search YouTube like a pro. I'm going to give you 5 insider secrets. I guess 5 is the number of this show. 5 signs that your that your security camera has been hacked and 5 steps to prevent it. Isn't that funny? We're going to talk about taking screenshots the safe way and how to save money on gas. And of course, we have all of your phone calls here on the Kim Komando Show. How'd you like to hear about how I saved $456 in just 5 minutes? I used an app called Rocket Money. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that finds and cancels your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps you lower your bills all in one place. Can you remember all the free trials and all the other random subscriptions that you've signed up for? Of course you don't, and that's what they're banking on. I love that with Rocket Money, I can see all of my subscriptions in one place. Then if I see something I don't want, I just tap to cancel, and I never have to get on the phone with customer service. Rocket Money has over 5 million users and has helped save its members an average of $720 a year, with over 500 million in canceled subscriptions. Stop wasting money on things that you just don't use. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions by going to rocketmoney.com/Kim. That's rocketmoney.com/Kim. rocketmoney.com/Kim. Hey, our T-Mobile Unlimited listener line is now open at 1-888-825-5254 is the way to join us. And don't forget, you can always send me your questions, and I'd love to get them. Just head over to commando.com, and in the right-hand corner, you know what I say, there's a link that says Email Kim, and I'm the only one that will read your messages to me, by the way. Coming up in just a few moments, how you can time travel. Yes, it's possible. from the comfort of your computer chair or on your smartphone. And how about we start this hour with Lloyd in Montana? Hello there, Lloyd. It's so great to hear from you today.
Hey, Kim, I appreciate the opportunity to talk to you about a problem that I created myself, but then you kind of helped me solve a little bit. Let me
Ooh.
explain. Well, you're going to help me solve it again because I messed up a little bit. Let me explain. In any case, the app called Cam Scanner. My son and I take online classes, and sometimes it's very helpful if we can scan something out of a book, send it as a PDF to our email accounts, and then print it out quickly and mark it up or do whatever we want. So
Sure.
we go to the App Store, grab the first thing that's free, and it happens to be Cam Scanner. Then I was listening to the Kim Commando show about a week later, and I was told that that particular one possibly could have the Joker malware in it, and if you did download it, get it off your phone. And I did.
Right.
So, no, I haven't had any problems. I don't think I downloaded anything nefarious or anything. But here's my question for you. If that one is no good, is there another one that is just as good or that you could recommend out there that I could use? Because we found it to be very helpful.
Well, what kind of phone do you have?
The iPhone 10.
All right. All right. Well, what's really wonderful is that a lot of people don't realize that you already have a scanner built in to your phone. And have you ever used the Notes app?
Yeah, occasionally I'll write a few things in there and put it in there.
Well, the Notes app has turned into a really bona fide great document scanner. I use it so many times. It seems like during the week, especially now, like if you have to sign something or a document or you got something outside the computer or your phone or whatever. And so what you do is you fire up the Notes app, and then you're going to see a camera when you go to make your first note, or when you go to make a note rather.
Right.
And then if you tap on the camera, it'll say take a picture, but then underneath that it will say scan a document. And so when you scan a document, when you tap on that, what's going to happen, Lloyd, is that you're going to put your camera over that piece of paper, but it's only going to capture that piece of paper, not everything else around it. So it truly is a document scanner. And then you can save it, you could forward it, you can print it, you can do whatever you want. But it's a really capable document scanner. So this way you don't need to worry about, getting other type of programs like you mentioned, like it has this bot in there and it's malware. And it's unfortunate because so often good apps turn bad, right? I mean, Cam Scanner was amazing. It had like over 1 million downloads and all these wonderful reviews. And then suddenly it's like, oh, wait a minute. Now I'm getting a lot of pop-up ads and I'm getting a lot of junk on my phone. And they're tracking me. And it's the same thing like, a lot of people download a QR scanner app. You don't need a QR scanner app, okay? I mean, you have one built right into your phone. And then there are also games like Rugby Pass and Flying Skateboard and Plant Monster. I mean, these are some apps that used to be really good, but now they're not anymore. And so, that's one of the things that we try to do here on the show and also on the website is always to keep you guys and gals safe. So, so you remove Cam Scanner, and the good news is that you don't have to download anything else because, as I mentioned, you have the Notes app, and the Notes app is more than capable to be a great document scanner. And, and a side benefit is that when you do use the Notes app is that you get a copy of whatever that you wanted to scan, whatever you signed right there inside the Notes app. So you don't have to worry about downloading anything else. Lloyd, thank you so much for your call today. I appreciate you getting through to us and the opportunity to help you out. And let's talk about time traveling. You ever wonder what your house looked like before you actually purchased it? Now, one of the coolest things that you can do inside Google Maps is actually travel back in time. Google Maps doing this is so much fun. What you're going to do is you're going to use Street View, and then you can see what your home looked like in a digital timeline of sorts. So what you want to do is pull up your address on Google Maps, and then I want you to pay close attention and find the clock icon in the upper left-hand corner. Now, you're going to click on that clock or tap it, and then move the slider that pops up left and right to see these images of your house from the past through today. Now, there's a tip here too. Each dot on the timeline represents a different image of your home. So you don't want to slide it, you just want to tap those pictures. Now, Google just added this feature to the iOS and Android app, and you want to look under the address for an option that says see more dates. It really is fabulous. Stay right where you are. We have more of your phone calls coming up, as well as ways to tell if your security camera has been hacked here on the Kim Komando Show. How'd you like to hear about how I saved $456 in just 5 minutes? I used an app called Rocket Money. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that finds and cancels your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps you lower your bills all in one place. Can you remember all the free trials and all the other random subscriptions that you've signed up for? Of course you don't, and that's what they're banking on. I love that with Rocket Money, I can see all of my subscriptions in one place. Then if I see something I don't want, I just tap to cancel, and I never have to get on the phone with customer service. Rocket Money has over 5 million users and has helped save its members an average of $720 a year, with over 500 million in canceled subscriptions. Stop wasting money on things that you just don't use. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions by going to rocketmoney.com/Kim. That's rocketmoney.com/Kim. rocketmoney.com/Kim. All right, before we go back to all of your phone calls, just want to pass along some hidden tricks in case you're ever using YouTube, which is everybody all the time. What you want to do is start doing searches quickly and more intelligently, because Google is the number one search site. YouTube is number two. And let's say you want to narrow down your search. And so, for example, you want to start using time, and you can narrow it down by the date that the video was posted. Because think about this, 500 hours of content is posted every single minute on YouTube. So you might say, Spider-Man news this week. Then you want to try to find the actual music video, not the parodies. So you would like to search for Lady Gaga, Poker Face, Poker Face, that's that one, Poker Face, and then you want to put partner after it. You can make a playlist of songs, and what's really fun is that you can find a movie to watch too. It's pretty simple. Just type in the word movie in your search query and try like A Star is Born movie. And you might have to buy it or rent it if it's not available on the platform for free when you search for it. But you also want to use quotation marks to find the exact phrases. And this is really handy. Add the word long to your search to find videos longer than 20 minutes and short, less than 4 minutes. And so if you start really fine-tuning your Google searches, I think you'll find better results as well. And back to the phones we go with Victoria in Bellingham, Washington. Hello there, Victoria.
Hello.
Hello. So how can I help you out there, Victoria?
Well, I am looking for a recommendation. What I need to do is add job photos to my client files for our records.
Okay.
We have all these pictures on our phone, and if we need to research something, we're scrolling. It would just be nice to have it right on my desktop.
Yeah, it gets to be rather annoying when you start scrolling. Are you using any type of and what type of company did you say?
We're a plumbing company, and
are you using any type of like client management software or anything that handles the jobs?
I use QuickBooks Pro, Contractor Pro.
Contract, and then there's no way to do anything in there like that. They're just doing the books. What if you were able to get specific software made for your industry, the plumbing industry? Mm-hmm. And so it's not just where we're going to add a photo, but where it does all kinds of things. So it does routing, it does scheduling. You can do quotes, you can do estimates. You could handle your inventory, and then you'd have a full customer database too. And see, and when in the customer database, that's where you'd be able to put photos and any type of notes as well. Like, quoted the customer $75 for this HVAC or whatever it may be, or boiler, or you name it. And then it also does billing and invoicing. And then these programs also integrate with QuickBooks Pro. And so whatever you generate in there is going to be automatically pushed over to QuickBooks as well. And then it also works on an app. So you can see it does all kinds of things in addition to the pictures. And it used to be, Victoria, where if you wanted to buy something like this, I'm not kidding you, it would be like $5,000, right? Mm-hmm. $6,000. And it would only be able to be on one seat. One person could use it at one time. And it was very, very limiting. But over the years, what has happened is that we have something called software as a service. And you might see it online as SaaS. Okay. And what that means is that you're going to log in and you're going to have all of these tools at your disposal. And instead of you spending like $5,000 for a package, well, now it's maybe $50 a month for a package, $35 for a month for a package, because you're going to pick and choose the tools that you want to use.
Oh.
And it's really smart to start looking at uh, these type of solutions. Like, for example, I'm helping my sister. Okay. She's kind of in the same boat. Small company, very specialized. What she does is she's fantastic. She's works with kids with severe learning disabilities. And so, like, for example, a child that she got when the child was 3, was nonverbal. And does a complete assessment. She goes through everything. Well, now the child is 17 and he's doing 4th grade work and he tells his parents that he loves them. Okay. And just phenomenal work that she's doing with these kids.
Yes.
But she's doing everything, believe it or not, up until recently using Microsoft Outlook as her scheduler. Okay.
Oh my, yeah.
Okay. She has a school where she also has about 35 students, 1 student per 1 teacher. Okay. She does online tutoring and Zoom calls. She has teachers located around the country, and all of this is very manual. So what we found is an online school tutoring solution that will take away 6 hours of her billing every single week as well. Okay. And so what it does is that it will propel your business because you're not stuck in minutia land. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So what I'd like to do is to give you links to 3 of these programs. One is called Field Edge. The other one's called Jobber rather, and the other one's called House Call Pro. And I'm going to give you a link to where you can compare all 3 of these side by side to see which one will suit your needs the best. Because I'm not the one doing the work. You are. Mm-hmm. But I can at least tell you that there's more than just adding a picture, because now we can do dispatching and customer database and billings and quotes. And then your guys and gals in the field will have an app that they can use too. So they're not taking pictures on their phones. And then if they lose their phone, or if they decide to move to Milwaukee, that you don't have those photos anymore, right?
Right.
So it gets to be, a bit of a challenge. So, this is really great advice for anybody who's sitting there with a small business right now. I want you to start thinking, and if I can help you, I mean, hey, I created a business. If I can help you with that, is let's take your business to the next level. Let's figure out what tools that we can employ. As I mentioned, not a lot of money, okay? Maybe it's, $25 a month, $50 a month. Maybe it's $100 a month. In my sister's case, now she's going to be able to take payments via credit cards, and doing it. All people can now pay online, and then she's going to be able to split those payments into 4 payments if the person can't afford things. And so, think about how you can bring your business to the next level. And if I can help you, I want to have that privilege to do that. So what I'm going to do for you, Victoria, and for anybody else who's listening, maybe we got more plumbers in the crowd, is I'm going to post this link over inside the Commando community. And in case you're wondering what that is, you go to commando.com/community. And then there's a Q&A forum over on the left-hand side. And that's where I post links, because gosh knows we don't want to send you into Google search land. And Victoria, let me know which one you choose and how it works out for you. And thank you so much for your call. Let's go ahead and do our digital privacy tip. And this week is brought to you by Total AV. With the countless threats on the internet, from phishing sites to password stealing malware, you might think the more security you have, the better. Okay. And while different programs can serve their purposes, you really should only be using one antivirus program. So instead of trying to stack all these antivirus programs, I just want you to pick one powerhouse for all your needs. And that's why I recommend Total AV's industry-leading security suite. It's easy to use. It offers the best protection in the business. It's received the renowned VB100 award for detecting more than 99% of malware samples for the last 3 years in a row. Plus, this protection covers up to 5 of your or your loved one devices under a single plan. This is so great. So whether you're on a Windows, a Mac, iOS, or Android device, just install the easy-to-use app and you're protected. Now, I've negotiated an exclusive introductory discount just for you. You're not going to find this price anywhere online. You can't beat this price. You get the first year total AV for only $19. That's right, at protectwithkim.com, but you have to go to that address. Oh, it's over 85% off the regular annual price. Head to protectwithkim.com today. Once again, protectwithkim.com. All right, let's talk about your security camera. Have you ever wondered if, hey, somebody hacked it, what they could do, what they could see? I mean, I'm sure you've heard the stories, right? I mean, for example, one man realized that his family was in danger. He heard some strange voices coming out of his daughter's room, and he put the baby to sleep, and then suddenly hears a man's voice, and then his Nest thermostats were put up to 90 degrees. And, here that's obviously a clear-cut sign, okay? If you hear any strange sounds or unfamiliar voices, your security camera may have been hacked. Next on our list is that maybe it starts moving strangely. A woman bought a webcam to watch her puppy while she was away from home. Then she spotted the rotating camera swiveling to look at her, and even when she was across the room. She said, I moved to the left and the right, and the camera came with me. And then she heard a strange voice. Then she told the camera, get out of my house. Get out of my house. Wow, how frightening would that be? Number 3 is that updated settings are one of the biggest signs that your camera may have been hacked. Maybe they broke into it. They start changing the camera name. They start moving it to different places, different looks than you did. And so you want to make sure that you change the password. Number 4 is maybe choosing more data as it starts streaming, sending live video to the cloud. That's always one. Your camera's LED light is on as if it's recording, but you aren't using it. So what can you do? Well, first of all, I want you to be smart. And I know since you're listening to me, I know that you're super smart. I want you to password protect your Wi-Fi, of course. Do not use the same username and password, please. And you want to have a good, hard-to-crack password. Use two-factor authentication and always turn on auto-update. If you want more tips about this and the links that I mentioned, in case you want to make sure that you have all the steps on your security cameras at home, make sure that you head over to commando.com, and there at the top of the page, there's a link that says Kim Show. All right, still to come this hour, we have more of your phone calls. We're talking about taking screenshots the safe way, and also, oh my gosh, the best hidden map feature you're going to use time and time again to save money on gas because it's so expensive. We've got more of me here on the Kim Komando Show. How'd you like to hear about how I saved $456 in just 5 minutes? I used an app called Rocket Money. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that finds and cancels your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps you lower your bills all in one place. Can you remember all the free trials and all the other random subscriptions that you've signed up for? Of course you don't, and that's what they're banking on. I love that with Rocket Money, I can see all of my subscriptions in one place. Then if I see something I don't want, I just tap to cancel, and I never have to get on the phone with customer service. Rocket Money has over 5 million users and has helped save its members an average of $720 a year, with over 500 million in canceled subscriptions. Stop wasting money on things that you just don't use. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions by going to rocketmoney.com/Kim. That's rocketmoney.com/Kim. rocketmoney.com/Kim. Hey, you can stop wasting time and money. Get an Epson EcoTank cartridge-free printer with big ink tanks and a ridiculous amount of ink. You can kiss those expensive cartridges goodbye. It's the Epson EcoTank. Just fill and chill. Visit epson.com/EcoTankChem. All right, before we go back to all of your phone calls, I want to pass along as our special thank you for being a listener of this program is that we are giving you free guides for your Windows or Mac computer. All you have to do is go to commando.com/free guides, and then you get it. If you're on Windows, obviously select the Windows version. Mac, you know what I'm talking about. And we want you to take your tech know-how to the next level. There are search tricks to find your files and programs in a snap in there, keyboard shortcuts, so that this way you can say, hey, look what I can do. You can show off a little. Quick photo editing without downloading any extra programs. We've got messaging shortcuts, and also we have a list of free downloads, safe downloads for both your Windows and your Mac. And in case you want to get these, again, absolutely free, just head over to commando.com/free guides, commando.com/free guides. All right, before we go back to your phone calls, one tip I want to pass along is about taking screenshots. I use them all the time. I bet you I probably take 4 or 5 screenshots of what's on my screen a day. It's so handy. This way you don't have to try to, explain to somebody, oh, this is what it looks like. Now, it's pretty basic. On Windows, you just have the Windows key and the print screen key, and boom, it's saved to a specific folder under Photos. Now, a full screenshot grabs whatever on your monitor, And that's the problem. You may not want to share everything that's on your monitor because you might have some sensitive information. But on Windows, you want to use the Shift key and the S, and then you can snip just part of the screen. On a Mac, just as easy. It's Command Shift and the number 3 to get the whole enchilada. Command Shift the number 4 can bring up some crosshairs so you can just capture just a part of the screen. And of course, your screenshot saved on your clipboard as well as your desktop. All right, Neil in Columbia, South Carolina. What a beautiful place. Hi there, Neil.
Hey, Kim. How are you?
I'm fantastic. Thank you for your call.
I really appreciate you.
What can I lend a hand with?
Sure. So everything is good here. We have a router, though, that's about 10 years old. And I'm just curious, Kim, if it's necessary to upgrade them. Things are working well, but I was told that you need to upgrade.
Well, you're probably using an old security WPA standard, the one that's 10 years ago that's easily hacked. That's the big problem. You know, 10 years is pretty long on the tooth, but, think about that as a gadget. 10 years, day in and day out, and that sucker has been plugging along, right?
Exactly.
I mean, that's amazing. Have you ever gotten any firmware updates for it?
It does upgrade. What happened is that we have fiber installed to our house. So the guy who did the fiber install said that it couldn't handle all the available.
Yes. Yeah, that's the problem. That's the problem. It's just not equipped. It didn't know that fiber existed then. So even though you have fiber coming in, it's not utilizing all the speed and the capabilities that you're paying for. And so at 10 years, I normally recommend like every 3 to 4 years, quite frankly, because the technology and the security standards change so quickly. How big is your house?
Yeah, so we are in a ranch-type house, so we're kind of spread out. And that was my other question is I've read that there are these mesh networks, and I'm not sure what's the best thing to do.
Yeah, I was going to say a mesh network, but how many square feet is your house?
It's right at 6,000.
Okay. All right, so here's what we're going to do. So a mesh network, what it does is do you know how it works?
Not really.
Okay, so a mesh network is really fantastic. I've had them in my home for so many years. Let's say your router is coming in the garage, and between the garage next comes the family room, and then comes the kitchen. And so let's say when you get in the kitchen that you notice like a degradation in service. So you're like, okay, well, I guess I got to get a Wi-Fi extender and put it in the middle, right? I'm going to put it as high as I can away from the microwave oven and all those other good things. And that's where the old way goes because we need to buy that Wi-Fi extender. With a mesh network, anything that's connected on the network will go ahead and act as almost as if it's a repeater. So you're going to get like an instant coverage boost because now your phone can act as a repeater. If you have a smart thermostat, that can act as a repeater. So you get my drift?
Yeah, that's cool.
Okay. So it's actually very cool. I've used this one brand for mesh, but you could use Netgear, and Google has their own mesh networks as well. Amazon bought this company called Eero. That's EERO. I think it's probably one of the best mesh network providers out there. And they're using a Wi-Fi 6 system. And it sounds like, because you like to save things. Okay. So what you're going to buy is a router, and I would just start with a router and 2 extenders, and it's a kit, and it's about $159, and just see how that works, Neil. And because when you actually put it in, you're going to put an app in it, and we'll show you where the dead zones are, and which is also super handy because you're not trying to figure out using a heat map or anything else like that. And then you might need to have some other extra extenders. But if you've got a fiber line coming in and you've got a 10-year-old router, dude, time to get rid of it. Okay. Okay. It's time to say no. Like it's time to say no to certain things like polyester suits. Okay. Vinyl shoes, linoleum. There's some. Everything had its purpose. So what I'll do for you, Neil, and thank you for your call, is I'm going to post a link to it over inside the Commando Community Forum. That's commando.com/Q&A, and then there'll be the Q&A forums over. There's a link on the left-hand side. Here's a question that I keep getting time and time again. How can I save money on gas? I get it. Last time I filled up, it was like $140. I'm like, whoa, what happened there? Sam's Club and Costco, they offer discounts, but again, you have to pay that membership fee. So if you really want an app, everybody knows about this one, Gas Buddy. Okay, it's perfect. All right. But if you drive to the same place quite often, I bet you don't use any way of getting directions because you know how to get there from point A to point B, right? Well, here's the deal is that what you want to start doing is start getting directions because both Apple and Google Maps will tell you how the traffic is and give you alternative times to go so that this way you're not going to be sitting in traffic and wasting that liquid gold that you just got at the gas station. So if you haven't tried that out yet, you really ought to give it a shot. And don't forget, you can always drop me your questions over at commando.com. And you want to hit that link that says Email Kim. And we have another hour coming up that you never want to miss here on the West Star Multimedia Network. One more thing, make sure that you sign up for our free tech newsletters delivered right to your inbox. Head over to commando.com/subscribe now while you're thinking about it. Once again, that's commando.com/subscribe. And thanks for listening. I appreciate you.
For the ones who get it done, the most important part is the one you need now. And the best partner is the one who can deliver. That's why millions of maintenance and repair pros trust Grainger, because we have professional-grade supplies for every industry, even hard-to-find products. And we have same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders. But most importantly, we have an unwavering commitment to help keep you up and running. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.